and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 scary in-flight announcements. I actually scripted this a few days before filming it, and I had a really horrible dream about a plane crash, so I was strapped into the plane and it started falling backwards, so I don't know, I didn't like it. And this is what I put myself through for you, so thank you. Also, hands up if you guys are slightly afraid of flying, because I am. I'm basically not about to alleviate any of your fears in this video. That being said, nobody on any of these flights died, so hurrah for that. Coming in at number 10, we have 50-50 engine failure. On a flight from Malaga, Spain to Bristol, UK in 2017, a pilot announced that there was only a 50-50% chance of the engine working. He asked passengers to deliver a show of hands to see who wanted to continue with the flight anyway. Passenger Terry Hill said, "At this point there was a bit of a mutiny on the plane, an awful lot of shouting and people crying and demanding to get off. I mean, if there was only a 50-50% chance of the engine working, I'd be straight off that plane." Coming into number 9, we have prepare for a crash landing. British news publication The Telegraph asked readers to write in their scariest plane experiences. One contributor told the following pretty scary story. On a flight from Paris to Dublin, flight crew accidentally played a pre-recorded announcement that said to adopt the brace position and prepare for a crash landing. There was a small amount of chaos, but luckily they were able to announce the mistake. It must have just been a few seconds, but can you imagine the sheer panic of hearing that? Coming into number 8, we have "I will do my best to land the plane." Like, could you with that? Be okay, thanks. Another article on The Telegraph, one traveller wrote in about their experience flying in a storm across India. They said their plane began to roll before dipping hundreds of feet. The pilot first gave an announcement in Hindi and then said this in English. "Ladies and gentlemen, the storm is very bad. I will do my best to land the plane." It turns out his English wasn't too great and he forgot the words "on time" at the end of the sentence. Whole different meaning. I'd basically be crying in my seats if I heard that. Coming into number 7, we have "we don't want to die." No, we don't. When a flight attendant says "we don't want to die" whilst on a flight, you might be a bit freaked out. I guess that's a pretty big understatement. Apparently this is what happened on a Ryanair flight in 2016. Basically, passengers on a flight bound for Dublin were frustrated at an 8-hour delay. As the plane sat on the tarmac in Glasgow, over the speaker a crew member said, "The captain cannot take off when we have ice on the wings and we don't want to die." Like, to be fair, it's totally fair. A clip of the chaos that then ensued was uploaded to YouTube and people were not happy. Ryanair said, "We will be speaking to the crew member involved and apologised for the regrettable comments she made in the heat of the moment." Coming into number 6, we have a quick watery grave. In 2014, passengers were totally traumatised when a Monarch airline pilot told them that the reason for their 24-hour delay in Tobago was because they'd just experienced a problem with the reverse thrusters. Sure, fine, but he then said that could have led them all to a quick watery grave, which is just too much information. The pilot likened the issue to a crash in 1991 that killed 213 people. Thanks, pilot. Comforting to know. Monarch Airlines admitted that the captain of flight MON 368 used the wrong choice of words. Now, shortly after the flight took off, the pilot then announced that smoke had filled the cockpit and the plane was landing in Barbados. Apparently that was a separate issue, but with all the chaos going on, I actually just literally would have sat there crying and praying and crying. Okay, last one from the trusty Telegraph article. We have "Look at that missile somebody just fired at us" at number 5. Okay, how is this only number 5? You'll see. Gets so much worse. A contributor to the Telegraph wrote that they were on a flight over an African state and the pilot announced in a very blasé way over the tannoy, "Ladies and gentlemen, if you look over our starboard wing, you can see the trail of an obsolete Russian Stella 3 that somebody just fired at us." Right, so we're literally under siege. Great. Coming in at number 4, we have "the plane is on fire." On a flight to Helsinki, the pilot made an announcement in Finnish that made all passengers that spoke the language sit up abruptly. A pair travelling on the flight for business were confused until a monosyllabic English announcement came. What did it say? "Ladies and gentlemen, we shall be making an unscheduled landing and steep approach to Tampere Airport. The plane is on fire. Thank you." Right, great. As the pair lives to tell the tale and write the story in a comment section of a Guardian article, I assume all's well that ends well, but still, I never want to hear that the plane that I'm on is on fire. Coming into number 3, worse still, we have "we're going down." In 2013, the pilot of a Boeing 737 terrified passengers when he told them that they were going down. The Southwest Airlines plane was flying from Tampa to Raleigh-Durham International. The pilot came over the loudspeaker and was heard saying, "We're in trouble, we're going down." Passenger Shelley Wills told CNN that a woman next to her was clutching her chest like she was about to have a heart attack. She even texted her daughter to say that she loved her and that the plane was going down. Now, the plane did sharply dive as it approached its descent into RDU, but luckily it did manage to land safely. Southwest Airlines suggested that the pilot may have accidentally triggered the PA system. Either way, this is totally terrifying. This is really freaking me out at number 2. I would never want to hear this. We have "the engines have died." Yes, engines plural. I believe the full quote was, "The engines have died. I hope you aren't in too much distress." And like, how can you not be? On a British Airways flight from London to Auckland in June 1982, the aircraft experienced a catastrophic failure. Volcanic ash caused poor visibility to the pilot, but also took out all 4 engines. Now, this is verbatim the announcement that the pilot made. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have a small problem. All 4 engines have stopped. We're doing our damnedest to get them going again. I trust you're not in too much distress." Right. By some miracle, the flight and all 263 people on board did land safely in Jakarta. Finally, at number 1, arguably the worst thing a flight attendant or pilot could ever say whilst in a flight, the scariest flight announcement we've ever heard, we have "pray" at number 1. Okay, so it doesn't sound great, does it? In June 2017, a plane violently shook after taking off from Perth and flying en route to Malaysia. The Air Asia A330 experienced a quote-unquote technical issue that made the whole thing dramatically shake. Like, it didn't look great. In an announcement to the passengers, the pilot told people on board to pray. He also said he was scared and that everyone's survival depended on the cooperation of the passengers. There's footage of the plane shaking, and to be honest, I'm not religious, but I'm totally with the pilot here. I would have been praying. Luckily, the pilot did do a fantastic job and landed the plane, but still, if you ever hear a pilot tell you to pray, you know things are not good. So guys, that was the top 10 scariest in-flight announcements. Have you ever heard anything that tops anything on this list? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, let me know if you like flying or you don't like flying. I really enjoy the mini meals, but flying itself does freak me out. I'm your host, Rebecca Felgate. If you like this video, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay subscribed for more most amazing lists. Bye!